Okay, so welcome everyone. I hope that you have had a lovely Passover week, whatever that involved for you, seders, matzah, leftovers, whatever it was. And however this week went, let's take a moment to put it behind us and let Shabbat enter into our spirits and into our souls. Whatever you need to do that, whether it's not think about what's coming up or not think about what was past, let yourself off the hook about something. We're going to begin on page 126. That's in the bracketed numbers if you have two sets of numbers in your prayer book. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward and outward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do the candle blessings today, unless someone else wants to.
We're
Okay.
ready.
Page 120 and 121. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And we turn to the Kiddush, page 123. Is there anyone who would like to do the Kiddush this evening? Nathan, would you like to? Okay. It's in English. You can do it in English. What do you want to do? Do you want to do it in Hebrew?
Does he want to do the whole Kiddush?
I don't know.
Maybe he does.
He can.
Here, go for it.
Sure, go for it.
Here we go.
You have to use the microphone, though.
Hello? Hello.
Skip the
I gotta
Kiddush.
get really close.
You
Mike,
do have to get
skip
really
it.
close. Would you prefer to hold it?
Skip the Kiddush. He's gonna do it himself.
There you go.
Hello?
Skip it.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
So we don't have to.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'rei, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kadshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Is wine okay for you? Okay. It's not good wine. The classics.
Of course.
Yasher Koach. Thank you, Nathan. That was fabulous. We continue on page 130 with Lechuna Ranana. Let us sing joyously to Adonai.
Lechuna ranena, ya lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, ya lai lai la la lai, nariha, ya lai 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 lai, Tzoyishenu, ya lai lai la la lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong, that all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song.
Mary, do you want me to put it on there, or you rather have it here?
I'm listening to you.
L'Adonai, ya lai lai la la lai, nariha, ya lai 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 lai, Tzoyishenu, ya lai lai la la lai, ya lai lai la lai lai.
Page 128 is Shabbat HaMalka, the Shabbat Queen.
The sun on the treetops no longer is seen.
Look is sweet.
Gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace.
We turn to page 263 for the Chatzi Kaddish, the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Yilmad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yom echon u'v'chayid echol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ובזמן קריב ויאמרו
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמדי קודשה.
בריחו.
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בלמה, ואמרו Amen.
The Baruch Hu is on page 264. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Page 265. I invite you to read with me. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuta Le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וכשמתם לאות על ידך, והיו לי תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 269. I invite you to read responsively with me. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness, I'm hearing something strange. My apologies. Okay, let's try again. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Page 270.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi kamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha neidat b'kodesh, norati hilot osefelen, norati hilot osefelen. Malechutecha rahu vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zehili, anu ve'amru zehili, anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu Shomerenu l'chaim, Ushma tzitenu, Uvohenu, L'chaim l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshi Shevi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu, V'it תנגמיתו וחשבת ישמחו במלאכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת ובשביעי רצית בו וקידשת שבת חמדת ימים אותו קראת השבת ישמחו במלאכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת ישמחו במלאכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלאכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת.
The tefillah begins on page 273. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agiti latecha Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agiti latecha Oh God, open up my lips that I begin to pray. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, Adonai, sefatai tiftach ufi agiti latecha Adonai, Adonai, sefatai tiftach ufi agiti latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohi avotenu v'imotenu Elohi Avraham, Elohi Yitzchak v'Elohi Yaakov Elohi Sarah, Elohi Rivka Elohi Rachel v'Elohi Leah Ha'el hagdol hagibor v'hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכה חסדות לאמהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר מושיע מגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיי ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש קדושים בכל יום יהללו חסלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. Page 277. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah together. The heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 279.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amecha Yisrael U'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel Ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha Karov Lechol Kore'av Penei El Avadecha V'chanenu Shefach Ruchacha Aleinu V'teichezena elnenu B'shuvecha leTzion berachamim Baruch Adonai Amachazir Shechinato
We have come to our prayer of gratitude for today. And so I would like to invite anyone who would like to share something that they're feeling grateful for today to do so. You can offer what you're grateful for out loud, or if you're on Zoom, you also have the option of adding what you're grateful for in the chat. So either way, so who is grateful for something today? We already have some coming into the chat. Patricia is grateful for the end of Passover and life back to normal. And most of all, that everyone is alive and well. Karen Kramer is grateful that family members made a good recovery from COVID, and she's grateful for the vaccine that helped them to not get very sick. And she's grateful to be a temple member now that she has rejoined. So Mazal Tov. Karen, welcome back into the fold, and we're very happy to have you. Let's see. Susan is grateful for the beautiful sunshine and warmer weather. And Lori is grateful that her granddaughter, Ruby, stands up. So that's adorable. That's Lori Pandolfo, by the way. Freema, what are you grateful for today?
I am grateful that in 2 days there will be a wedding, and that I'm just grateful that I am keeping my cool. Having a lot of patience, and just knowing words to say.
Good job, Freema. Modima nachnu lach. Diane Schenker. Unmute, please.
I am grateful for having wonderful, caring, and loving children who have not left me alone.
Modim and nachnu lach for that. Thank you, Diane. Linda Kushner Silverman. Linda, you have to unmute.
I'm grateful for you and Noni for a beautiful service this morning for Yiska. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Patricia?
Yes, I just wanted to congratulate Karen Kramer. She has been known to be in this show for many years. Just wanted to congratulate her. Her son was bar mitzvahed at the show, just to let everybody know. So she's still part of this group. Yes. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome. Love you.
So more gratitude that Karen is a member again. Modima nachnu lach for that. Michael Rose is grateful for our foster kittens and our fuzzy old cat who are being kept separate because that would not go well. They are very cute, the kittens. Irene is grateful that her cousins in LA will be coming to New York and to see their brother who is fighting cancer. Oh, they're coming to see their brother who is fighting cancer. So he should be well. Who else is grateful for something? Anyone in the room? Okay, as we are ending Passover and Ramadan is going on and it's ending on May 2nd, and Easter was last weekend, and in history, these are times of violence for Jews, Christian, and Muslims. And so I am grateful to live here in Brooklyn, where on my block I live side by side with Jews, Christians, and Muslims, and there's no tension at all, and we all wish each other well on our various holidays. So I am very grateful for that. Robert Rothman is grateful for health in all capital letters. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. We continue with our prayer for peace, shalom rav, page 282.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom hashalom v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלום, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We have come to our quiet prayer. If you have a prayer book, there are words in the bracketed page numbers 283 to 285. If you can see the screen, there are words on the screen. But of course, we can always use the words that are in our own hearts. We continue quietly.
Wonderful to your friends and all their families, especially their sweet children and their grandchildren. Thank you for wonderful pets. Keeping us alive. Watch over us and protect us from
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי
May the words of our mouths and the meditations in our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. We turn our thoughts now to those among us and those in our hearts who are ill and who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. Our Misha Berach is on page 371. If you're on Zoom, I invite you to add names for prayers for healing in the chat, and everyone will have an opportunity to add names out loud. We hold in our thoughts and in our hearts for healing this evening Jesse Sakharoff, Ira Weiss, Elaine Drucker, Allison Plummer, Rabbi Dara Lerner, Susan Sisler, Joellen Fox, Alan Fremer, Valerie Pace, George Landberg, Susan Bilecki, Dana Haitkin Nelson, Arlene Rosenthal, Michael Luck, Barbara Weiner, Joan Lifshitz, Elizabeth Lee, Amy Juskowitz Stoonseller, Deanna Roth, Jonathan Falkowski, Martha and Ed Vincent, Ingrid Grosso, Audrey Cohen, Eddie DeAngelis, Vicky Lightnaker, Nettie Trommer, Mia Gannon, Jerry Prezioso, Jeff Abel, Patricia Christensen, Monica Bayer, Liz Yasida, Diane Steiner, Mark and Paul Steiner, Patty and Erwin Cohen, Jerry Jaffe, Myron Jacobson, Shira Reese, Jonathan Dash, Carolyn Dash, Donna Saltz, Ellen Dufour, Lou Levinson, Rita Soul, Cynthia Wilson, Donna Clements, Daniel Ryan, Joe DeVito, Todd Petrie, Jody Siegel Stein, Saul Siegel, Laurie Hope, Mark Dworkin, Sal Comiso, Jeremy Briel, Karen Vanderhorn, Laura and Ian Silverman, Genevieve Lightfoot, Maddie Rosenbaum, Abraham Greenberg, Lori Silverman, Dorothy Tabakman, Alid and Pat Colella, Paul Markowitz, Delphine Wolf, Jeannie Osceola. Mary Lou McGivney, Sarah West, Jennifer Magoob, Joanna Marie, Teresa O'Sullivan, Jimmy Jenkins, Elena Aram, Chanel Kamabach, Juliette Dale, for those suffering in the Caribbean islands, Israel, India, Afghanistan, and Haiti. Stacy and David Mauser, Hannah Paines, Scott Wiesen, Judith Kors, Ernest Tornin Casa, Ara and Howard Poleski, Marin Lightheart, Sophie Tuttleman, Jack Lambert, Mary Lou McGivney, Jean Barry, Roz Nadel, Elliot Woofsey, Baby James Scarpola, Nancy Kelly, Ann Kelly, Paul Markowitz, Robert Trachtman, and the people of Ukraine. Paul Kastick, whose hometown in Montego Bay got flooded, although his house was okay. Linda Kushner Silverman, Jackson and Tara Kushner, Jean Bressler, David Gershon, Shelley Samet, Sherry Jacobs, Stevie Doppelt, Ronnie Katlowitz, Jonathan Dash, Helen Schechter, Carol Rose, Carol Smith. Freema?
Eleanor Tablets, Rochelle Ronick, Nathan Emrani, Reva and David Cohen, Lucy Palazzolo, Martin Bennett, Carol Beanstalk, Phyllis O'Neill, Kathy's brother Gabby, Francina Mitchell, Popowitz, Elliot Drucker. Thank you.
Others with names to add? Alan? Thank you. Anyone else have names to add? Case in point.
Neil Veron and Rose Posey.
Thank you. We also include all of those who are suffering from COVID-19, wherever they may be, those who have been hurt in service to our country or Israel, and those who have been harmed in recent disasters, whether natural or human-created, including the invasion of Ukraine, the conflicts in Afghanistan and other parts of the world. Yes, all of those folks. Page 371.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mikor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imoteinu mikor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. In Israel, Passover has already been over for a number of hours because they're 7 hours ahead of us there. Here in this country, Reform Jews, not all Reform Jews, but many Reform Jews, observe Passover the same as in Israel. That is for 7 days and not 8 days. The extra day was added a long time ago in the diaspora to each of the 3 festivals. And it had something to do with not being sure about the timing and wanting to make sure that you got it right. And the Reform movement decided some time ago that we're pretty sure we have it right, so we don't need to add an extra day onto the 3 festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. So basically we're done with Passover for another year. But I'm not quite ready to let go of it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Dayenu today. So Dayenu is an extremely well-known part of the Seder. If you've been to a Passover Seder, you probably, and especially if it was an Ashkenazi Passover Seder, you probably sang it to the tune of Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. So Dayenu has 15 verses. We never sing all 15 at my house. We sing 3. If God had not given us, if God had given us the Torah, it would have, and not given us Shabbat, it would have been enough. If God had given us Shabbat and not taken us out of Egypt, it would have been enough. That's what Dayenu means. It would have been enough. So Dayenu can be a little bit difficult because obviously we don't think any of these things were enough. If God had freed us from slavery to the Egyptians but not parted the sea for us, it would have been enough. That's one of the verses. But if God had freed us from slavery in Egypt and left us stranded on the shores of the Reed Sea as the Egyptian army was bearing down on us and did not split the sea, well, that would have been the end of our story. That would have been it. So it wouldn't have been enough. So why do we sing this song that says it would have been enough? Are we being disingenuous? Are we being sarcastic? I'm going to go with no. I don't think we are being disingenuous or sarcastic, but I do think it's a little hard to understand this. So each one of the things we talk about that God gave us in Dayenu is an amazing and remarkable thing in itself. Freeing us from slavery. Wow, that's huge. Splitting the sea, a miracle against the laws of nature. The rabbis talked about that. They figured out how it's not against the laws of nature, by the way. And by the way, the way it's not against the laws of nature is that there's a few things that God created right at twilight on the 6th day of creation. And one of those things was the sea splitting at that exact moment. So, because God knew that it was going to be needed, so God made that part of creation, and so it didn't violate the laws of nature. That's a tangent. We don't need to belabor that point. So, but we needed that miracle as well. God gave us the Torah. That's huge. That's the foundation of everything that we do as Jews. So each one of these things is an incredible gift and completely necessary. And any one of them should be enough. How can you keep asking for more when you get something so important and so wonderful? And yet, we need more. It's not enough to leave us on the shores of the sea with the Egyptian army coming. It's not enough to have the Torah. We do also need the Shabbat. We need all of these things. But the way I'm thinking about Dayenu is that really each one of them is a world in itself and should be enough. And if the world were a better place, it could be enough. Each one of those things. And so when we say it would have been enough, what we're saying is that we recognize what a big deal everything that God has done for us is. Every single thing. And maybe you don't understand God as operating in quite that way. I don't understand God as operating in quite that way. And yet I understand all of the wonderful things in my life as being in some way from God. Not that God pointed a finger and went bing, but that God somehow is behind everything. So if I had been born into a loving family but did not survive a childhood illness, Dayenu. If I had grown up and been able to go to a good college but had not met my husband there, Dayenu. If I had met and married my husband but we didn't have any children, Dayenu. If we had one child, Dayenu. If we had two children, Dayenu. If I got to become a rabbi and fulfill what I think is God's purpose for me, Dayenu. Any one of these things is a tremendous gift. And so I would invite you to think about what are the gifts in your life? What are the things that each one of them by themselves should be maybe enough? Because it's amazing. And then what else do you have on top of that? What's our personal Dayenu for this year? As we head out of the Passover holiday, may we rejoice at our founding story of Exodus. The 7th day of Passover, which is today, we read the section of Torah that includes crossing the sea, and on the other side being so relieved and joyful and amazed that we burst into song. So what are the things that make us want to burst into song? Like if we lived in a musical, what things would be so overwhelming that we would have no choice but to sing? That's what musicals are, by the way. So may we embrace our personal Dayenu, our personal amazing gifts, and may we appreciate each one of them that we have been given. Amen and Shabbat Shalom.
If you close your eyes and listen, there's a presence in the air. You can almost hear the heartbeat of this sacred place, our sanctuary. Let us be a place of refuge and of shelter, shelter from the rain, from the storm. Help us find our way to keep us warm. Our light glows bright in the sanctuary, forever kept aflame by our love. Let's keep that fire burning with offerings of our heart. Ve'asuli mikdash, ve'shalom di betocham. Ve'asuli mikdash, ve'asuli mikdash, ve'shachanti betocham, ve'asuli mikdash. Shelter from the rain, from the storm. Help us find our way to keep us warm. Vasuli mikdash, Vasuli mikdash, Veshachanti betocham, Vasuli mikdash. Vasuli mikdash, Vasuli mikdash, Veshachanti betocham, Vasuli mikdash.
From Passover to Shavuot, we count the days, and it's called counting the Omer. So we're going to count the Omer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. This is on page 570 in the prayer book. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom Shiva Yom Shehem Shavua Echad LaOmer. So today is the 7th day, which is 1 week of the Omer. So this is one of those years where every Friday night when we count, it's going to be a solid, around, like it's going to be a week. It's going to be the end of a week. Okay. We are turning now to the Dayenu that begins on page 586. And I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, our loved ones who have died in the past days or weeks or months or in past years at this time of the year. Oops, that's not the yahrzeit list. I have shared the yahrzeit list to the screen. Unfortunately, it's quite small. I'm sorry about that. Make it a little bigger. If you're on Zoom and you have names of anyone you're saying the mourner's Kaddish for this evening, you could put those in the chat, and everyone will have a chance to add names out loud. We remember those who have died in the past year. Lester Schenker, John Belay, Yefim Polyak, the Reverend Eleanor Lee McGee Street, Arthur Goldstein, Lotta Bloom, Irv Golden, Arthur Derry, Andrew Mazzella, Joyce Braziller, Linda Gilbert Schneider, Della Cohen, Fran Arnowitz, Selma Carl, Harold Carl, Emily Seff, Moshe Usher Reinitz, Huma Saber, Lila Bloomfield, John Carfisi, Andy Glantzman, Todd Zeitlin, John Previtt Jr., Augie Dorio, Janet Esposito, Kay Josephs, Arnold Block, Elizabeth Clark, Kyle McGee Sr., Ida Houston, Louisa Espute, Perry De La Touche, Ira Roth, Roberta Hayrath, George Liss, the Reverend Claude Park Street, Sylvia Tishkovich, Ellen Belofsky, Cindy Retagliata, Dolores Weinberger, Suzanne Leknos, Shirley Kafker, Lillian Frost Ridgely, Thomas Marinin, Meg Goldate, Marguerite Romeo, John Young, Isadora Frost, Fred Perlman, Claire Kramer, Bob Ira Kleinberg, Francis Bergman, Ruth Winehouse, and it's the first yahrzeit of my aunt Dorothea Schuring. I'd also like to remember that this week was the anniversary of the school shooting at Columbine High School in Colorado. And this week was also the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, that was. On our yahrzeit list are included Jean Berger, Jackie Udelewitz's mother, Alan Scott Baylor, Roz Baylor's son, Lawrence Frost, Nancy Frost's husband and a past president, Myron Klein, Mona Goldberg's partner, also a past president, Robert Kleinberg, remembered by Ellen Rothstein, and Marcia Wilco, Brian Wilco's mother, and a real powerhouse of a person in the life of the synagogue as well. I don't know, did she serve as president as well? Is she also a past president?
Yes, Marcia
maybe.
was a president.
Say it again?
Yes, Marcia Wilco was vice president.
Yes, so Marcia Wilco. So we have 3 past presidents on our yahrzeit list this evening. We include also Ben Schaefer. Oh, it's Ben Schaefer's yahrzeit. Rose Greenberg, Lancelot Grant, Dr. Francis Jackson, Stanley Tenen, and Seth Kushner, Linda Kushner Silverman's beloved son. Freema? You have to unmute, Freema.
I'm trying. It's been a long
you were
day.
trying. Okay, you got it.
It's a long day. Okay. Jack Mandel, Betty Rubel, and I see on the list Schrager plot. Is that anything with Mickey? I know there's a plot. Oh, maybe it's plot. Okay, I'm sorry. Not sure. Okay, but there was one other name on the list that I wanted to. Okay, go on.
Rabbi?
Yes?
Rabbi? Myron Klein, a powerhouse, a past president, a wonderful man. He's still missed.
Yes. Thank you, Diane. Anyone else on Zoom have names to add? Okay, folks here in the room. Thank you. Alan? Thank you. Anybody else? We include also all of those who have died from COVID-19 and those who have died by other causes, whether in war or famine, terror or disaster, or alone and homeless on the streets of our cities. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. I invite you, if you're able, to rise and join in or to participate according to your own custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dam yiran ba'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved wherever they may be. And let us say, amen. You may be seated.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
A few announcements before we conclude the service. Today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. There is no religious school because it's the end of the school spring break, but there will be B'Yachad online and in person at the same time at 10 a.m., followed by Shabbat services at 11 a.m., also on Zoom and in the sanctuary. Sunday morning at 10 a.m., the monthly Mitzvah small group is going to do a marine park cleanup. If you'd like to participate and or join the group, contact Joni Schaefer. Her email is in the the bulletin, and also if you log on to the member portal in Shul Cloud, you can find her there. Or if you have a directory, you can find her email there. In the afternoon on Sunday at 4 p.m., the Interfaith Coalition is holding Abraham's Table, which is a periodic event where a topic is chosen. A Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim all speak from their own faith perspective on that topic, and then there's questions and answers, and the idea is that we all get to know each other better and continue a really positive interfaith relationships and friendships. So that's at 4 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. It will be on Zoom. You can contact Yvette Pomerantz for more information, and a flyer was sent out by email this morning, I am told. Also in the Interfaith Zone, on Monday, April 25th, there will be an Interfaith virtual Ramadan Iftar dinner at 7 p.m. Virtual, so Zoom again. There was a flyer, I think, that had a link to sign up in it. That's the same with Abraham's Table. There's a flyer. The flyer has a link to sign up. Or you can contact Yvette Pomerantz for more information. Tuesday, okay, so that was Monday. Tuesday, April 26th, at 1 o'clock p.m., Rabbi Pinsky will lead Torah study on Zoom. And at 4 o'clock p.m. is Gentle Chair Yoga and Gentle Qigong with Gail and Bob Freed. Confirmation class will not meet on Wednesday most likely because it is Erev Yom HaShoah on Wednesday. A flyer for the community Yom HaShoah, a remembrance was with the links email. It's being hosted this year by Park Slope Jewish Center in person and on Zoom. So see the links email for information on how to sign up for that. The following week, we have the Israeli holidays of Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut. There are going to be some events in Brooklyn for those, so you'll get more information about that. Save the date for our journal luncheon on June 12th this year at Gargiulo's restaurant. Yummy. We're going to be honoring Adrian Knoll, who is our president. Call the temple office for a reservation, and I believe you can also make reservations on our website. There's also a goods and services auction, so if you would still like to donate something to be auctioned off to benefit Beshert, contact Pam Glantzman. There's a tzedakah box on your way, a tzedakah plate on your way out of the sanctuary. Thank you to Nathan for doing the Kiddush. Thank you to me for doing the candle blessing. And Alan wants to say something about the baseball game. July 17th. Okay, so they're going to be taking reservations to go to the game right up to the day of the game. But you could just pick up your tickets at the luncheon on June 12th if you order them by May 31st. And who do they contact, Alan? Is it you? Okay, so you can contact Alan Zarrow. I think you can also contact Jean Guskin. And if you don't have the information you need to contact any of those people, contact Alice in the temple office and she will guide you. If you want to place an ad and put greetings in the journal, honor anybody you want, remember anybody you want in the journal on June 12th, those ads are due May 3rd. So this is both for if you are able to go out into the community and get businesses to place ads in the journal, or if you want to place ads yourself. This is a nice way to honor people or to honor Adrian, who is fantastic, So the forms for that, I believe, are also on the website. Okay. There's a tzedakah plate on the way out of the sanctuary. If you're not in the sanctuary because you're on Zoom and you'd like to give to tzedakah, you can use the donation button on our website and just put a note that it's for tzedakah. Anything that I missed? Okay. We are going to close with Adon Olam. Do you know what page it's on?
625.
Page 625. And also on the screen. If you're able, I invite you to rise.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'chefzo Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיל לו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גולי וצוחב לי בצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן והעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for coming, everybody. There's Passover snacks in the community room.
Shabbat Shalom. Good night.
Shabbat Shalom, Zoomies.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It was really
Shabbat
nice.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat
Right
Shalom.
all around you.
Everybody keep safe.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And have a great time on Sunday, Freema.
Thank you. I will.
Okay.
I'm going to be dancing my way all the way through this.
Make a wonderful memory.
Yes.
Make a wonderful memory.
Thank you. I certainly am going to.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom,
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Nice seeing everybody.
Yes.
Take care, everybody. Enjoy. Are we taking pictures?
No, I was logging off from my phone. Because my phone is how you see the congregation.
Oh, cool.
And my iPad
see
is how you see Noni and Michael Tornick.
I see sometimes on the screen there. I see us. I don't, I see figures.
Okay.